Recording in progress.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Greetings to each and every one of us, those who are watching us live and those who are here in person. We welcome you to Deep Dive, and today is Tuesday, August 27, 2024. We're starting the webinar now with a wonderful signature tune, In It to Win It, by one of our global ambassadors in the name of Lerato Shadari. I urge you to watch the non-verbal communication of the song as it is being played, and Dr. Derek has taken a lot of time to put together images that reflect what the song is telling us and what is trendy in our ONPASSIVE journey. Without further ado, we're calling on Dr. Derek to play In It to Win It by Lerato Shadari. Thank you.
We
Your next stop is ONPASSIVE.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Wow, thank you, Dr. Derek. Definitely our next stop is ONPASSIVE, and that's where we are. And wow, metaverse, I think I'll let Dr. Derek be the one to talk about that. But Dr. Derek, did I see something that Deep Dive has had 570 webinars? Or that first number I cannot quite understand. Is it 2 or 5?
570 plus.
Wow.
Since 2021 April.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. That's how dedicated Deep Dive has been. Twice a week, every Tuesday and every Thursday. We're so fortunate that we have dedicated Dr. Derek, who is always there to make sure this happens, right? And yes, he is there, and with dedicated followers, including Brother Carlton. Welcome, my dear brother. And supporters like you and I, including our speaker, our wonderful speaker for the day, our mindset speaker, Dr. T. She has been researching on a weekly basis. Every week, she brings us something very unique. And today, Dr. T is bringing us 10 ways to build a healthy relationship with money and to avoid the money trap. We know who Dr. T is, an international transformational speaker. She's also a life coach, empowerment trainer, and TV talk show host. She has also published 4 books, and besides that, she is editor-in-chief of Discovering You magazine, which a lot of us have subscribed to. And those books that she has published, if you have the opportunity, please find time to read it. At least one of them, because you may not be able to read all 4 back to back. But Dr. T, as we know her, is going to put us in our right frame of mind, because without a mindset, we will not be ready to receive what Dr. Benny will be sharing with us after that. So please make notes, because after her presentation, you may have questions for Dr. T. And if you make notes, it will help you to remember what you want to share with her, or just comment on her presentation. So I'm going to call on Dr. T to do what you do best. And thank you so much for always gracing your us with your presence every Tuesday. Over to you, Dr. T. Keep smiling. Beautiful smile you have.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I really do appreciate all of you. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you brand positive people on this beautiful webinar that Dr. Derek has created for all of us. And I'm just so honored to bring this message today. 10 ways to build a healthy relationship with money. Did you know that you can have a relationship with money? Think about it. I've always told you, what is it? That money is a living entity. So therefore, it's like a marriage. Are you going to have a good relationship with it? Or are you going to have a bad relationship with it? This particular webinar is going to show you how to prioritize and cultivate a positive and mindful approach to money. It's going to build smart financial habits. Learn to budget, save, and invest wisely. Understand the emotional side of financial decisions. And seek help from trusted financial advisors, and surround yourself with people of like mind who have the same values for money as you do. That's the purpose of this particular topic. So I want you to hang on. Don't go anywhere. Take notes. And if you have any concerns or questions after the fact, please feel free to ask me. Let's have an open dialogue. So again, the message is 10 ways to build a healthy relationship with money. You want to avoid the money traps. So the first way to have a healthy relationship is to develop a positive mindset and attitude. This is deep dive, and we're dealing with what? The mindset. How do you look at money? Take a second and think about that. How do you view money? Seriously. Is money just a means of exchange? My mother used to always tell me growing up, money is no more than just a means of exchange. But I think that she was missing something there because my mother didn't understand that money is more than just exchanging, putting from one hand to another hand, buying things, because my mother was a consumer. She didn't know anything about investing. She didn't know anything about making your money grow, living your dreams through your money. She didn't know anything about that. So the only thing she did with money was to put it in one man's, take it from her hand and put it in somebody else's hand. This is why she never really enjoyed the benefits of having money. If we look at the parable in the Bible, Matthew 25, verses 14 through 30, we all know the story of the parable of the talents. There was a merchant, a rich merchant. He was going on a trip. Remember that? And he had 3 servants that he entrusted with money. One, he left, 5 talents? Remember that? Another one, he left 2 talents. And the last one, he left 1. We all know the story. What happened? The one with 5 talents, he multiplied it. The one with the 2 talents, what did he do? He multiplied it. And the one with the 1 talent, as many people that we know that we may be aware of right now, what did he do? He hid it. And this is what he said. He said he was afraid when the merchant asked him, "What did you do with your money?" "Oh, I hid it. I was afraid. So I hid the money." How many people that you may be aware of, and I hope that you're not guilty of this, but how many times do you know people who get money in their hands and they do nothing with it, absolutely nothing with it? This is what he did. And what did the word of God say? It said he was an evil man and he was slothful. Therefore, because he hid that money and he buried it, nothing became of that. The merchant said you could have at least put it in the bank and let it yield interest. But he did not do that. And that's the mindset of many people. They throw the money away. They just hide it. It's just a means of exchange. If there's no interest, therefore it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't work for them. So again, number 1 is to develop a positive mindset and an attitude. The second way to build a healthy relationship with money is to plan something special each month. Yes, I always tell Queen Antoinette, I say, Tony, buy something for you every month. Do something special for you. You may be frugal and you may have a goal for your money, but you want to do something for yourself because you don't want money to have a hold on you. You don't want to feel trapped with money. So I want to advise you that at least once a month, do something extraordinary for you. It might mean taking a weekend trip. Maybe it's buying that dress and paying retail, not wholesale, but retail price for it. Yeah, go out of your way. Go to a restaurant that you always wanted to go to, a 5-star restaurant. Maybe you might want to just go to a 5-star hotel and just stay just because you can. Do something special for you because you want your money to understand I'm in control. You don't control me. I'm in control. We have a relationship, but I want to be able to enjoy you. So once a month, number 2, once a month, plan something special each month with your money so that you can enjoy it and you won't feel trapped to it. You want to avoid those money traps. There are a lot of people who are frugal and their money, and they're always pitching pennies, always. And they don't really enjoy their money because they're so afraid they're going to be what? They're going to be broke. They're so afraid that when it's time for retirement, when they get old, they won't have any money. So they never really enjoy their money. So I just want to encourage you all, if you really want to enjoy your money and have a relationship, a positive and healthy relationship, take time out each month and do something special for you. Splurge. Do it once a month. Let your money know who's in control. Number three goes along with number 2. Pay attention to the little things you do with your money. Pay attention. Although you may splurge, again, I said once a month. So you want to pay attention to how you spend. You don't want to splurge too much because remember, your goal is what? At some point to build wealth. And if you're not utilizing your money properly, if you're getting yourself in debt and you're splurging too much, that means that you're not watching your spending. You want to pay attention to those little things. If it's coffee that you're buying all the time, or if you're a person that likes to collect different things, be careful with that. It's okay to enjoy it. Enjoy the coffee. enjoy collecting things, enjoy little knickknacks if you want to do that. That's how you want to spend your money. But just make sure that it does not get out of control. So just make sure that you're paying attention to the little things that you do with your money. Because again, that adds up. Remember, our goal is to have a healthy relationship with money. So you want to pay attention. How are you spending your money each day when you get your money? Do you have anything left? Oh, remember, wealth is not so much how much you make, but what? Like Dr. Derek taught us, how much do you have left over? What do you have to utilize to invest? Do you have an emergency fund? Those are the kind of things that you want to watch. So make sure that you're paying attention to the little things that you do with your money. Number 4, keep past mistakes in the past. If I went around right now and asked all of you to unmute and asked you to share some of the mistakes that you've made with money, whoa, we'd be here all night. Because I'm pretty sure all of us, I know me, Dr. T, has made some horrendous mistakes with money. We may have gotten involved with scams. We may have made poor decisions with investing. We may have overspent. We got ourselves in debt. Credit card debts out the kazoo. I mean, we can name all kind of things we may have done. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We have to forgive ourselves. We got to put that in the past. Do you know how many people, because they've made past mistakes with money, they cannot move forward? They're stagnated. They have money coming in and they're afraid to move. Oh, I don't want to do that again. They're stuck because they haven't forgiven themselves. If you've made a mistake with your money, okay, move on. Forgive it. Forgive the situation. Forgive the times that you did not spend your money wisely. Let that thing be in the past, because if you live in the past, you cannot go forward in the future. What you're doing in the past, what you did in the past, is going to affect how you utilize your money in the future. When the money starts coming from ONPASSIVE, all of this money starts coming in, are you going to be the one that's going to just sit there in your wallet and not can't figure out what you're going to do with it because you made some poor decisions in the past? No. Or are you going to be the kind of person that's going to say, okay, look, I'm going to let go of those past thoughts. I'm going to let go of those past sins I committed with money, and I'm going to move forward, and I'm going to be able to live my mission and live out my dream, invest, and leave a legacy. That's your goal. But in order for you to do that, you must let go of your past mistakes with money. You must do that. Number 5. Number 5. And this also goes along with number 4. Be honest about your financial situation. You got to be honest with yourself. Where are you right now? Right now, on the 27th of August, 2024, where are you with your money? Are you where you want to be? Before we start getting the apples, what do you have in your account? Are you on E? Are you living from check to check? Or do you have something saved up? Do you see your money building? You've got to be honest with your financial situation. Don't be in denial, or I'll be okay, or I'm good. Every time you turn around, you have to borrow money from someone. You're living from check to check. You're overspending. That's an issue. That's an issue. You cannot be in denial. You have to be honest with yourself. What are you doing in this right now? What is your financial situation? What is your financial situation? Ask yourself that. Take a minute to ponder on that thought. Are you pleased with where you are financially? I'm not talking about having a whole lot of money. I'm not talking about being Donald Trump. I'm talking about right now, just being a common person, being who you are. Do you see yourself increasing? Do you see yourself building? Do you see yourself making wise decisions with your money? If you're not, do not be in denial. Begin to do number 1, change your mindset about money. It's more than just a means of exchange. It's supposed to help you live out your dreams. It's to help you to complete your goals and to leave a legacy. Those are a few of the things that money is supposed to do. So do not be in denial. Look at your situation and be honest with yourself. Where are you right now in your financial situation? If you're not pleased with it, that means you need to make some change, and it starts right here in your mind. It changes right here with your attitude and in your heart. Change this, and you'll change the outlook, and you'll change the situation. Number 6. Number 6. Call time out. Time out. If you begin to execute 1 through 5, that could be a little overwhelming. So I want you to take a time out. Sometimes just push away. Take some time out not to even think about money. You might be one of those people who have goals and you want to have a nest egg for someone. You may want to have a college fund for your grandchildren or your children. You might want to invest in buying homes, whatever you may want to do. Take a day or two, or maybe a week or even a month just to push away from money. Try not to think about money so much, because if you're doing that, that means that the money is controlling you. Take some time out. Just relax. Don't worry about what's going on with the money right now. Just leave it alone for a second. You've already applied 1 through 5. Now this is the time for you just to sit back and relax and let your money do what it's doing. If you're thinking about investing, if you're changing your mindset, if you want to start changing spending differently, just leave it alone for a moment and just give yourself a time, just a time to relax your mind. Because again, we're talking about a relationship. You don't want to walk on eggshells with your money. You don't want your money to feel like it's in charge. You're in charge of it. You're the head. In this marriage, you're the head. Okay, you're the one who controls things. You're the one that tells the money how it's going to work for you. In order for you to do that, step away from going back and say, look, I'm taking a break. I'm going on vacation right now. Okay? I'm not going to look at you right now. I'm going to leave this alone. And when I get back, you'll be right where I left you. And that's the kind of attitude that you have to have. So take a time out, always thinking about money. Give yourself a break. Give yourself a breather. Don't become so overwhelmed with what your money matters right now. Okay? You don't want to find yourself being oppressed and being nervous about it or being stressed out. Because all the time thinking about money, it's going to be a stressor. And you don't want to do that. So number 6, call time out. Number 7, block out external factors and negative influences. Let me say that one again. Block out external factors and negative influences. What does that mean, Dr. T? Don't allow other people to influence you on how to spend your money. If you're content being in a little white house with a picket fence, 1,100 square feet, don't let a neighbor or a relative say to you, oh, you make enough money, go out there and spend it and get a bigger home. If you're content with just buying a regular vehicle, don't be influenced to go out there and buy a bigger car. Stay within your means. Stay within your budget. Don't allow other people to influence you how to spend your money. Okay, you may look at TV or the different commercials, things that are going on, and things that come on. Hey, invest in this, do that. Do not allow those to influence you. Stay in your lane. Your goal is to build wealth on your terms. Your goal is to have money so that you can live out your dreams. And maybe your dream does not involve driving a Mercedes. Maybe your dream does not involve having a 25,000 square foot home. You don't have to. Stay in your lane. Don't allow people to influence you, or even different situations to influence you. You might meet someone. You may meet someone who has some type of investment opportunity. People, there's all kind of things to invest in. Everything is not for you. There's all kind of ways to build wealth, but everything is not for you. Pray and ask God, what do you want me to do with my money? How do you want me to invest? How do you want me to grow wealth? You can't put your hand in everything. So don't allow others or negative influences to tell you and to dictate how you should deal with your money. Okay? That's number 7. Number 7. Number 8, we're almost finished. Number 8, stay clear of the comparison trap. Ouch. Stay clear of the comparison trap. What does that mean, Dr. T? Stop comparing yourself to the Joneses. Stop trying to keep up with the Joneses. You don't even know the Joneses situation. They're driving nice cars. You know what I'm saying? They have the fancy clothes. They're going on trips. But you have no idea how they're doing those things. They may be in debt up to their heads. They may be using credit cards to pay for all of that. And you're out here trying to compare yourself to them. Oh, I want to be like the Joneses when I grow up. No. Stay out of that arena. You don't want to be jealous and envious because you don't know again. Even if they are wise spenders, maybe they are doing it all right. But that's them. You don't know how long it took for them to get in that position. It may have taken them years. Who knows? They may have been like you at one time. Maybe they had very humble beginnings. And maybe they did all the right things. They get where they are. But don't compare yourself to them. That's a very dangerous place to be when you compare yourself. Because what it does, it takes your eyes off of your situation It takes your eyes off of doing what you're supposed to do because you're so busy trying to keep up with someone else. So stay out of that comparison trap. And you may say, well, that's not a big deal. I don't do that. You'd be surprised how many people do that. They find themselves getting in debt because they're trying to be like somebody else. I had one of my neighbors, he just bought a brand new car. It's a Blazer. It's beautiful. And I looked at that. I said, wow, that is a very nice car. And I have a nice car too. But I looked at his car and said, maybe when I get my next car, I'll get that. No. Somebody probably just downsize and do something different because right now the Blazer may not be in my budget. The Blazer may not be something that I need to be involved in right now. I looked at his car. It was beautiful, but I had to come back home and say, wait a minute. That's not for me right now. I have different goals with my money. So I don't want to compare myself. Some of you may even go out there and find yourself buying things, going on trips that you can't afford because you have a neighbor that's always going on trips and they're always flashing different things. And you want to say, I want to be like that when I grow up. No, you want to be like you when you grow up. So stay out of that comparison trap. It's a very dangerous place to be. Stay in your lane and enjoy what you have. Be appreciative of where you are right now and be appreciative of where God is going to take you. So number 8, stay clear of the comparison trap. Number 9, and this is so important, be mindful of who is in your inner circle. Be mindful of who is in your inner circle. When you're that, you attract who you want to be, or you attract who you are. If you're around people who are living the abundant life, who are trying to build wealth, they have a certain type of mindset, you're going to attract those kind of people, and they're going to attract you. You want to be around people who are not necessarily rich in terms of the amount of money they have in their pockets, but you want to be around people who understand how money works. You want to be around people who respect money. You want to be around people who are frugal, but at the same time, they know how to apply money in a place where it needs to be applied. People who invest, people who have goals. You want to be around people like that. Okay? Birds of a feather flock together. You want to be around eagles. You want to soar. Stop hanging out with the pigeons and the chickens. Be with an eagle, somebody that's soaring, somebody that's thriving, somebody that's dreaming big, and they're doing all the necessary things they have to do to achieve those things. So if you want to understand and have a healthy relationship with money, be mindful of your inner circle. Stop hanging around with people who don't want anything. Money is just a means of exchange. They're always in debt. They live from paycheck to paycheck. That's going to influence you because guess what? If they're living from paycheck to paycheck, what are they going to do? Have their hand out. Can I get some money from you? Can I get a loan? Did I get paid again? And what happens? That puts you in debt and they stay in debt. If they're always look from check to check and they never have enough money to meet their needs and they're always coming to you, what position does that put you in? You want to be with somebody who's mindful of money, somebody who appreciates money and understands that I don't want to live from check to check. I'm going to invest, I'm going to save, I'm going to yield interest with my money, and I'm going to spend my money wisely. And when I do splurge, it's not going to be all the time. I will treat myself, but it won't be all the time. A person who understands that money is to serve a purpose. And what is that purpose? To live out the mandate that God has instilled in every single one of us. So that's number 9. Be mindful of your inner circle. And the last one, seek professional help. You want to look at a wealth specialist. I always tell people seek out wealth specialists. Okay? Not just a financial planner. I'm talking about a person who understands wealth, a person who understands how money works. And they can teach you the same thing in more detail what Dr. Derek taught us before for the last 2 weeks. Find a wealth specialist. Do you know that when you put money in your account, if you think about it, if you have a savings account and it's just a regular savings account, do you know that it's not yielding any interest? It's no difference than taking a bunch of money and putting it under a mattress. That's all you're doing. You're like the guy who buried that one talent. You're no different than that. Because why? It's not yielding any interest. You want to find a money market fund that's going to yield interest 4.25 or up, okay? Where it's going to be yielding more interest, compound interest. You want to start a money market fund, IRA, 401k, CDs. Talk to a wealth specialist. While you're working hard for your money should be working hard for you. How? Because it's by yielding compound interest. And when you talk to a wealth specialist, they will show you what entity is good for you. But in the meantime, while you're serving, while you're saving, while you're investing, make sure that these things fit your particular lifestyle. And I believe that when you apply these 10 ways, you will have a healthy relationship with money and you will avoid the money trap. Let's do a recap. Number one, develop a positive mindset and attitude. Number two, plan something special each month. Number three, pay attention to the little things you do with your money. Number four, keep past mistakes in the past. Number five, be honest about your financial situation. Number six, call a time out. Number seven, block out external factors and negative influences. Number eight, stay clear of the comparison trap. Number nine, be mindful of who is in your inner circle. And last but not least, seek professional help. Find a wealth specialist. And I'm going to add a number 11. Seek God. Put God first. The Word of God says in Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 to have trust Him and to lean not unto your own understanding, but in all thy ways to acknowledge Him, and He will direct your path. That includes how you spend your money. That includes how you invest your money. Because no one wants you to be wealthy. No one wants to be more than wealthy than him. He's the one who wants you to be wealthy. He's the one that wants you to be healthy. Remember now, health and wealth go together. Every area of your life, he wants you to be filled with his abundance in every area. So when you remember those 10 things, plus the last one I gave you, the bonus one, you'll be well on your way to having a healthy relationship with your money, and you'll be avoiding the money traps. My name is Dr. T, and I really do appreciate you all allowing me to share. Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
Awesome.
Dr. T, thank you. Thank you. Dr. Derek, I heard your voice.
Was just saying awesome.
Dr. Oh, outstanding. Dr. Derek just confirmed that it's awesome. And I know, as always, I'm going to say you nailed it because that's what you just did, Dr. T. Thank you so much. And the one that a lot of people do all those mistakes. And the one thing that I see that they do not do is to seek professional help. We're in trouble, we're in denial, and we don't seek for help. And the help is right there next to us. It starts from within by accepting that you have an issue that needs help before you can go out and seek the help. But I hope that this message is going to help everyone who is listening or who has to listen or will be listening in the future. But for now, I'm going to call on anyone who did listen to Dr. T. Please, this is the right time to raise your hand and ask a question or comment on this awesome presentation that she just made. So I'll pause here and before I start calling names. All right. I'm not seeing any. Oh, what a surprise. Queen Tony, usually you raise your hand. Now you're like siblings, huh? Queen Tony, usually you speak, so it's your turn now to make a comment, Queen Tony, please. Usually you'll be the first to raise your hand. So, Queen Tony, can you say a word if you are available? You're muted, so I see your lips moving, but you're muted. We cannot hear. To use because I don't always through things. I tend to use money. I don't always. I'm not. I can be very frugal when I shouldn't be, and then I can buy frivolous things when I shouldn't. So I put all to
play information. I really enjoyed that, and so I had to say something.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tony. It's an honor and pleasure to see both of you together. We know you work together, but seeing you together tonight is just touches my heart because I know you're close, but this is what ONPASSIVE has done, brought you to even closer. Thank you.
Because I know how important messages I wanted to hear this message. I know the rest of you would have enjoyed it as well. So I'm turning it back to Dr. T. The hour.
Thank you so much, Queen Tony, for being selfless and sharing what you have with your loved ones around you. Very much appreciate your input as always. We'll be seeing you very soon. Dr. T, we're so honored to have such a wonderful person in your life. When there's a need and then you have her come to your rescue. That's just an amazing thing that is within you. So thank you very much.
Wonderful. Um, I just want to add my little bit. Peace, blessings, enough, holy, plenty, a lot of love. You see, really and truly, this is what unpassive is all about. It's where you sacrifice. And I just want to personally thank Queen Dr. Tunishai Ford for her sacrifice tonight. Because really and truly, she called me early afternoon or mid afternoon, telling me that her power is out and she doesn't know if it is going to come back. And so I was saying to her, well, we just let Dr. Benny do the her presentation, and maybe hopefully the power will come back, the current will come back. But she called me at the 11th hour and said, well, she drive a few miles outside of her city, outside of her area, and you know, is at uh, Pastor Tony's house where she'll be able to do the presentation. Can you imagine? Well, that is just what Ashmufari has been talking about from 2018 until now, and still talking about it. The camaraderie, the love, the assisting humanity in every way that we can, because Dr. T didn't have to do that. She could just, current gone, she just lay down and play dead. But I tell you, that is really a woman that is dedicated to Unpassive and to us here in Deep Dive, whether we are live or otherwise on the different YouTube channels. So I just want to thank Dr. T very much and thank Pastor Tony for opening up her house and accommodating Dr. T today. Really, really appreciate. And oh my goodness, I can see why you were determined to speak, because this was a fabulous, fabulous presentation. I thought last week was fabulous, but oh my goodness, this is fabulous, sir. This is definitely fabulous, sir. Um, mm, 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 mm. Because listen, we must know, we must understand that we have to do things to to alleviate our situation. I try my very best. Well, my mother, Dr. T, my mother told me from I was a little boy, from we were little children. Mother said, don't owe nobody anything. Don't owe anybody because you are going to be a slave to who you owe. And that has rested with me. When people going to buy a car or get a car and they take out a car note and they're paying for that car over the course of few years, and when you check it out, they really pay for three cars when you really check it out. But that is all right. That's how they choose to do it. I choose to, put my money on a mattress, yes, or somewhere where I can get a little return. But I prefer to ride, walk, take the bus, take public transport, you know, do everything that I can, save up my money, and buy a car because I don't um like I've never had a car note because of what my mother said. Never had a car note. The only thing I had at one point was a mortgage, but never a car note. And I just try my very best to live a simple life, as simple as possible, because you just need somewhere to put your head when night come and sleep, somewhere comfortable as possible, and some food on your table, and can move from point A to point B. And if you don't have a car, listen, every one of us have a BMW. Every one of us. So it's better we walk. BMW. Better me walk. All right. So definitely, I choose not to have these whole lot of different things, monthly things to pay off, and so on, because it's a stress. It brings on stress on you, and so therefore you're going to have other problems and other issues, which will be now health wise. So things are going to spill over in other areas of your life anytime when you have a major money problem. Things going to start to spill over in other areas in our lives. All right. So try our very best to live within our means. Live within our means. Dr. Benny always say that people who don't have any money buying the designer shoes and the designer bag to match the shoes, and all of those things are going to all of these parties over the weekend and all of these things. And then now they are coming to you to borrow some money to get some food. That don't make no sense. No sense whatsoever. So let us be mindful and get yourself a budget and live within that budget. That's the best way so you see where your money going and what your money is doing. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Queen Dr. T. Really, really appreciate.
Thank you, Dr. Derek. I'm going to call on, if you can make a Dr. Benny co-host, please. Thank you. And Dr. Benny, welcome. Do your thing.
Uh, Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, before I say something, do you know that. Anyway, I have a YouTube channel called Smile with DrBenny, right? I am seeing people now saying smile with Dr. D, smile with Dr. I said, hey. Anyway, good evening, good morning, and good afternoon to all my brothers and sisters, my queens and kings around the globe. Are you guys excited this evening? Remember, our Heavenly Father woke you up this morning, and not everybody wakes up in the morning. Not everybody. I'm reading at this moment as well. And a lot of people, some of them just died. At least this weekend, I had to go visit someone. I visited 2 people. One almost died. One is bedridden. Things are happening. And sometimes we are the cause of our problems, as I heard, and I've seen it as well. I want to thank God for bringing all of us this evening, seriously. And I want to thank Him for sending somebody to you and I, because if it wasn't for this individual, I would not be able to know who Dr. T is. Even Queen David, despite the fact that we're from Cameroon, no, I would not even know. Look at Dr. Brother Carlton or King Carlton, I would not know. Queen Lily, Dr. Nadu, Dr. T, I would not know. But we have this individual who is determined to do anything to make you and I happy. And when I talk, I smell him. This individual, his name is Mr. Ash Mufare. I'm trying to pronounce it very well, like Dr. Derek. Dr. Derek. Our CEO is a self-sacrificing man, a man who has a heart for humanity, a man who stated that either I do or I die. You guys do understand that there are a lot of corrupted businesses out there online. Despite the fact that things are not going the right way, a lot of people have joined other businesses and they have lost some money. They try me, Dr. T, and I refuse. Yes, I'm not lying. ONPASSIVE is the last bus stop. It is. Dr. T, I want to thank you for this amazing mindset. All these 10 ways to build a healthy relationship with money. I am happy that you brought up this topic because I feel sorry for those who are not here listening to you. It is time because money is coming. And we need to learn how to manage our money. Yes, we have to enjoy the money, but we have to save some money should in case there is an emergency. You may be working. I do understand that there are a lot of people that they work from hand to mouth, like every paycheck. Before the paycheck comes, they have already utilized all their money. I don't understand. Now, it is stated that you should cut your coat according to your size. There is no need for you to overuse money because I know how to manage my money. I believe you guys know where I went and what happened and where I am today. But the Lord was with me, despite the fact that I have my own common sense. Dr. T, you talk about CD, right? Oh, yes, I have money in my CD. So if I don't, when I work, I save money in CDs and other places. I do. And there was a time that I couldn't, but I utilized part of my money from the CD to pay my rent. Oh, yes. And now I'm going to put the money back. Right? I am going to put the money back. So when you work, I just want each and everyone to know that when you look at your paycheck, try to find out how much do you pay for rent? How much do you buy food? You don't have to show off. Just like Dr. T said, you don't have to compare. I don't have time to compare with anybody anywhere at my age, Dr. T. At my age, I don't have to compare with each and everyone. What I know, just like you said, we should plan special month. Every month you can do something. Oh, when you said that, I was smiling because every day, every week or a month or paycheck, I make sure I go and buy my fish head. You guys may not understand. I buy my salmon head fish. A lot of people may not like it. It's enjoyable. It's love. It makes me happy. And brother Carlton, oh yes. No, I'm serious. And this thing about like, be with positive or like-minded people, Dr. T, I'm not going to lower myself to anybody. Seriously, I think higher. I don't play anymore. I don't play. And I think I need to be with people like you, just come and, yeah, I sometimes I say I want to be with high class people, but people get mad at me. I don't care, but I need to go look at it ahead. I have to look up. And if I notice that you're doing something positive, I want to follow your footsteps. Most importantly, I want to learn how to save money. And I want each and every one, as you guys are listening to me today, smile with Dr. Benny. Learn how to save your money. Do not show off. It does not pay to show off. You squander the money today and then tomorrow you start begging. Come on, beg me, I will not give it to you. Seriously. But we do understand that that's why we have ONPASSIVE. And those who believe into ONPASSIVE, like I do, when the apples start coming, let's say you did not know how to save money, but please start. If you want to learn how to save that money, you can come call me. And if you have any complaints about ONPASSIVE, call me. I will answer you. Because ONPASSIVE is everything to all of us. ONPASSIVE is the best company in the world. We have the best CEO in the world. And our CEO makes us to understand that we should work together as a family. Are you guys ready? And I do understand that communication is the key in any relationship and business and anything. So when I need something, I will communicate with Dr. T. I say, Dr. T, I need some help. Dr. T, I don't have money to buy my fish. Dr. T will say, didn't you keep your money in CD? Go get it. Right? But because I learned how to save my money, thank you for mentioning the CD. I also took some money from my 401k to pay my bills. And now I can pay back because I have it, right? I really want to thank you so much for this amazing mindset. I mean, I know that we have to seek God first. And that is why I always come here and I talk about God first. When I say it, I'm saying it with all my heart, mind, and soul. There is no need for me to be faking about God. He created you and I in his image. So nobody should be faking. If you love God, say it and do it correctly. Don't pretend. Don't just come and pretend online and say you love God, but out there you are not treating people correctly. Different, like people, you treat people, some people high, some people low. All of us are the same. Come on now. That's what our CEO said. Work together. We should work together. Are you guys willing to work together? Anyway, are you guys excited? Because ONPASSIVE is everything to me. I want to thank you, Dr. T. Thank you, Dr. Derek, for everything. Queen Debbie, astonishing moderation. Thank you so much. I love you. Thank you, Dr. T.
Thank you, Dr. Benny. Thank you so much. And keep smiling because everyone is smiling with you. Even they did not tell you, sometimes they do, but it's always good to verbalize it so you know, just to make sure that you're there. But even if they do not, you know that you're our Dr. Smiley 24/7. No doubt about that. Yes, Dr. T, your hand is up, you're virtual and you are you muted?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not muted. I don't know if you can see my hand because something is covering it. That's why I had my other hand up.
Yes,
Okay.
we could see both. Thank you.
Okay. I just wanted to say this. I talked about number 10, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you know about this, but I just want to reiterate. If you haven't heard of a money market fund, all it is, I think that everyone should have an emergency savings. Because that's not just a regular savings that goes to a savings account. I'm talking about an emergency savings where it yields more interest. It can compound interest. And a lot of banks or other financial institutions offer them. And it starts at like 4.25, it goes all the way up to 12. Some of them have up to 12. Okay, and they may have a stipulation as to how much you have to start off with. Like I know my bank, Comerica, I have to start off at least $10,000. Okay, they want you to put at least $10,000 in the savings account, and it would yield I think it was 4.25. But I'm going to try to beat that and see if I can find another institution that would yield more interest. Maybe like in a 5 or 6 or 7, something like that. Okay, but everyone should have an emergency savings. That's like 2 to 3 or 4 months of savings in case something happens unforeseen. You go to your emergency fund. You don't have to touch your CDs. Dr. Benny, you don't have to touch your 401k. This emergency fund is strictly for that. That's what it is. It's an emergency fund. It's a savings account, but it's going to yield more compound interest. And maybe even a mutual fund, which is an investment. And you don't touch that money. That money just grows, and that you can take dividends from the money. That's called a mutual fund. I am not a financial specialist, but I'm around people like that, and I'm being trained to understand those things. So I would get with Queen Miriam, Dr. John, people like that who work with money if you want to know more about that. But I would just advise everyone, including Dr. T, get yourself a money market fund, which is a savings account that yields more interest. Don't just put it in a savings account because that's just like putting money on a mattress. It's not really growing. It's not yielding any interest. And that's what the parable was talking about. Okay, when the merchant told the servant about that one talent, he was talking about a money market fund. Put it in an account where it would yield interest. Don't just let it sit there, but it's going to yield interest because at the end of the year, if you don't touch that money, you're going to have far more than you put in there. So that's just my advice. Okay, I'm saying that as a layperson. I'm not saying it as a professional. I'm saying it as a layperson. Talk to Queen Miriam, Dr. John, and other people who specialize in wealth building. Thank you.
Yes, Dr. T.
Yes.
I know that you can put your money in the money market as well, as you said. Where with my CD, even though I have several of them, but there is another CD when it comes to that money, it yields that 4 point something.
Okay.
Right? So it's like every 7 months.
Okay.
I make money from that.
Good. As long as it's building interest, in other words, not just sitting there. Okay, you don't want your money somewhere where it's just sitting. It's like putting your money in a box or under a mat. You want to put your money somewhere where it's yielding. That's how you build wealth. You go out there, you labor for your money, but your money, how it builds is by interest. That's how you build wealth. Compound interest.
Thank you.
That's my little 2 cents.
And the little 2 cents is the beginning of what they call piggy bank, right?
Yeah.
Can you imagine putting the 2 cents in that piggy bank every day for kids? By the time they go to college, it's no longer 2 cents. So
wow, yes. That's why I try to encourage people who are young, start teaching our young people now how to manage their money. This is one of the things that we're teaching our youth for Step Up financial literacy at 14, 15, 16 years old. Can you imagine them doing this now? And by the time they get to be our age, they'll be very wealthy people if they start practicing these things now. But they need to be taught. And that's what we're trying to do.
Absolutely. I second that. Thank you so much, Dr. T.
Yes.
And thank you, Queen Dr. Benny. Well, I don't see any hand up, so I'm going to introduce our next speaker, our one and only, who trains us every Tuesday on how to be safe in the way we handle our PII, personal identification information. And it's very important because sometimes we disregard something not knowing it will come to chase us. I've had so many of those, and recently with cars that has different names and different initials, and they don't think it belongs to the same person. So this personal identification thing is really very crucial. So please let us call on our one and only First Lady, our sister, and our Tuesday webinar provider on information technology, DrBenny, who is well educated in that area, in cybersecurity, and the in-depth of what it requires. She is someone that we are so blessed to have because she has that PhD and also has certification in other areas of information technology. So please, let's welcome her with open arms as she continues to educate us on cybersecurity. And her topics are usually very, very unique. Last week was an amazing one, and today, boy, is supposed to be the continuation of what she started last week. So please get your notepads, pen and paper, and be ready to get yourselves wowed by our system. Over to you, Dr. Benny, and thank you.
Thank you, David. I appreciate you. And you guys noticed last week we asked the question or the topic was, can hackers actually steal your home title? I never knew that it can happen. But yes, the answer is yes. Hackers can potentially steal your home title through fraudulent processes known as home title theft. So hackers can exploit vulnerabilities. As you all know, when it comes to vulnerabilities, weakness, there's always a loophole somewhere on the network, every place, even in your home, there is always a weakness there. So, like I said, hackers can exploit vulnerabilities in online systems or the database to obtain necessary personal information, as Queen David said, personal information, and they will forge documents. That's what they do. They will forge the documents to make it appear as tough. A legitimate transfer ownership has occurred. So once the title is fraudulently transferred, the hackers, that particular hackers, they can sell your property, right? Now, or they will take out loans against it, leaving the right owner at risk. So if you had your property, those hackers will do what it takes. They will take money out of it, then leaving you at risk, losing your home, facing financial problems. Now, how do we prevent this? In order to prevent the home title theft, now it is essential for properties owner like you and I, even though I don't have a property, but for those who have properties, to take proactive steps, right, in order for them to protect their personal information and the property title. So I know last time I talked about monitoring your property title. I talked about using password, and we have been talking about password, that you have to utilize your strong password. And I also mentioned when it comes to that password that according to the national, according to the National Standard of Hold on. So, I mean, there is a recommendation from the NIST, right? National Institute of Standard and Technology, that their own recommendation is that every 90 days. But the unfortunate thing is that a lot of our brand ambassadors or affiliates, 90% they are utilizing cell phone, and some of them they have really forgotten their password, and when it comes to their email, so they don't just want to. I don't know if I believe that they utilizes their cell phone to create the password, but they don't know how to say forget password in order to change the password. But when the time comes again, when you need that, I can walk with you hand in hand. So there is one that's working with repeatable professionals, right? So when conducting a real estate transaction or making changes to property titles, you have to ensure that you work with trusted professionals. Before you do anything, you want to inquire from somebody who has done it before. That is this particular individual legit, right? So by staying vigilant and taking proactive steps to protect your property, title, and personal information, you can really reduce the risk falling a victim. Well, so last time I talked to you guys about how to protect yourself from the home title. I listed it. I talked about home insurance title, monitor your credit report, but now I am going to explain more about it today. So if you don't mind, I am going to share my screen so you guys can see. I do understand that a lot of people, they want to see it visually rather than me just talking, right? That's what I noticed. So give me a moment, a minute. Let's see. Share. You can see, right? All right.
Yes, we can. Sis,
Yes.
push the TV button. Next, yes,
TV.
that one. Yes.
Ooh, it's too big.
Got it. Awesome.
All right, thank you. As I said last time, I listed it, but now one was make sure you have home title insurance. So the home title insurance, it's a common prerequisite for a real estate purchase, as it protects both the mortgage lender and the buyer against any conflicts over home title after the sale has closed. For example, if someone forged the deed to the house you currently live in and the real owner comes knocking on your door, home title insurance will protect you against any damages. So that is why it's so good for us to have insurance. I know a lot of people don't want to, but when I used to have a home, I had a home insurance. I know you're gonna ask me how come I don't have a home. One day I will. Again. So this is different from a home title monitoring, which is an ongoing service that can warn you of any changes to your home title that happens in future. Okay. All right. So next thing is to pay attention to the incoming bills. Sometimes you can look at your bills, you try to say, oh, why is it that how this money is too much? Why am I paying such an amount? So identity theft, as we have been talking about identity theft, right? Identity theft often appears in your mail. Make sure you check the incoming bills or for errors or unexpected accounts as soon as they arrive. Be especially cautious if you start to receive bills for loans or mortgages that you did not apply for, right? Now, if you have any suspicions, even without a proof, contact your utility or mortgage company for assistance. All right. Check public records for errors on your home title. So you can check home title, you can check your home title and review your property record at your local public record office. Now look for unfamiliar activities or document on the record like strangers, names. You know, sometimes the names have been forged. You have forged signatures. Let me tell you about forged signature. So if you notice that somebody can forge your signature, right? But it happens to me once, and I had to go, I had to report. So what the immigration did was that they asked me to come and sign in front of them, right? Sign my signature in front of them. So it took them 3 months. They had to spend it somewhere to investigate to make sure that the person who forged my signature, they wanted to make sure that they wanted to find out whether the signature was the same. But unfortunately, they found out that that person forged my signature. So that's the same thing when it happens to your home, right? Practice good cyber hygiene. Identity theft can find your personal information on social media or online shops that use it to apply for credit card, rent a car, or get a driver license. So it's good practice to clean up your online profile or set them to private so that only close friends and family can see your sensitive information. I make sure nobody sees mine. Oh yes, I am vigilant when it comes to that. Okay, so use safe browsing tools. Many identity thefts, they use fake websites to steal your personal information. Safe browsing tools warn you if you are entering a potential dangerous website. Most of the time, you look at the website. So I always tell you guys that when you go to the URL, you want to type whatever you want to buy online. Make sure that it is a secure link. HTTPS. If you don't see the S, to me, I know it's not secure, right? So I want us to be vigilant with what is happening in our lives. So learn about phishing and social engineering scams. Phishing occurs when scammers, they will send emails, they will send texts, they will call you to impersonate somebody that you trust. Now, in order to steal your personal information. So the social engineering scams are constantly evolving, and perpetrators use the latest technology and platform to trick victims into sharing their information. It is really happening. You guys notice that, right? The hackers are out there. A lot of them, they call you. And when they call you, they say, like they will send you a text and say yes or no, right? Whatever question they have, they will ask you to say yes or no. Don't say anything. Now, anybody calls you, you don't know the phone, that particular phone number, do not pick it up. And I don't. If I don't have you on my phone list, my contact list, I will not pick up the phone. So I need that particular individual to identify himself, him or herself, to me. If you call, some people will call, let me say on your your WhatsApp, right? WhatsApp. They will call you on WhatsApp and they want to see your face. You don't even know them. Do you pick up the phone? I don't. Phone calls, emails, text messages requesting for personal information, messages that don't even come from the company official domain. For example, out apple.com. Strange or obscure links in emails or text messages. Message that create a sense of urgency. Do you guys remember when somebody hacks, let me say if they hacked another person's phone, now they will call you or they will send you a text and they'll be asking you for a certain amount. Most of the time, it's always from Nigeria. Nigerians, please don't get mad at me, but it is true because they always ask for nairas. All right, check to see if your personal information is on dark web. Hackers steal massive amounts of personal information and sell it to the scammers on the dark web. Now, if you haven't been a victim of a data breach, you could be at risk of deep fraud or form of identity theft. What is a dark web? A dark web is a part of an internet that isn't indexed by search engine. Now, you have no doubt heard about or talk about that dark web as a hotbed for criminal activities. Can you believe? A hotbed of criminal activities. Researchers, we have like Daniel Moore and Thomas Reed. They did their own research in London in 2015 and found out that 57% of the hosts illicit on material stuff. Consider signing up for home title monitoring, right? So if you buy your home, the reason I believe I brought this up, or it's because of Dr. T. So I know pretty soon, when we start receiving that apples, those who have apartments, now they will go and purchase their home. So by you guys listening to what I am telling you guys today, home title monitoring services will check public record and alert you about any changes to your home title for a monthly fee. So when we talk about a monthly fee, when you start receiving the apples, Queen Lily, you'll be able, money will be nothing to you, right? When ONPASSIVE is giving you the apples, money will be nothing. You just pay the monthly fee for someone to monitor your home for you. Should in case anything happens, that particular individual will track it and let you know. Unfortunately, dedicated home title monitoring services can be very expensive. Hey, but even though it is expensive, when you and I start receiving the apples, it will not be a problem at all. So, now, notify your identity theft protection or home title insurance provider. Now, home title theft can be tricky to navigate, so you can get more protection and support to recover from home, or type of fraud with reliable insurance coverage. So I'm just going to give you a few. Now, if you have identity theft insurance, report the fraud to your provider, explaining that you suspect someone has stolen or compromised the deed for your property. The best identity theft protection services, it offers like 24/7. So every hour, you can call them anytime. They will be able to help you to access the team specialists that you can talk to them about what is going on. Now, if you think you might have coverage under your home insurance, check with your home insurance company to see if they can help you, right? All right. So contact your fraud department at your bank and notify other lenders. So any impacted bank or loan company will need to know about the fraud, especially if crooks attempt to remortgage the stolen property. So when you call, ask to speak to the fraud department. Let me tell you, sometimes when not only for home title, but sometimes when someone steals your debit or credit card, when you call that particular bank, the first thing you guys notice that artificial intelligence will be asking you question, right? Although sometimes I get mad to talk to the artificial intelligence. I just say, I need to speak to a human being. That's what I do. I tell them. But the most important thing is to say you want to speak to the fraud department and it will go fast. So the fraud department and explain that scammers may be using your identity to steal your home title and equity. So your lender will now freeze your account. Why? In order to prevent other fraudulent activity. Oh yes, things are happening. So guess what? Over 80% of the data breaches in 2022 happened because of poor password. I keep talking about the password, right? Practice make perfect, right? So when scammers they gain access to your account, they can sense or seize the sensitive data and document that they could sell on the dark web or use the home title theft. So what I would like each and everyone to do is that make sure, what do? Change your password immediately when you find out that someone has stolen it. Use a unique or strong password. And remember, I have been telling you guys that you should use whatever password you're using. Make sure you utilize a special character, right? Um, make sure that it's unique, strong password for all your accounts, especially sensitive ones like your online banking, your emails, social media accounts. Store your login in a secure password manager. Oh, yes. So, but you can stop the scammers from destroying your credit score by blocking their attempt to view your file or open a new account. Now, a credit freeze, right, will remain in place until PAL, the accounts at a later date. So, contact each of the 3 credit bureaus individually and ask to place a credit freeze. So you have Equifax and you have TransUnion, and that these are their phone numbers. But when the time comes, if you need help, I can still give you guys the number. So an official. So how to file a report with FTC, right? Federal Trade Commission. That's what it means. So an official report with the Federal Trade Commission is an essential part of recovering from the home title theft and identity fraud. So make sure that you file both an identity theft and a fraud report separately. Use identitytheft.gov to file an identity theft report. Then you use reportfraud.ftc.gov to report fraud. The FTC will give you an official report that you can use when disputing charges, as well as personalized recovery plan. So you can do it also if you want to send it to the law enforcement. Notify a law enforcement, which is crucial, as a perpetrator may have visited your property before the theft. Now, witnesses may have seen the imposter near your home or local area. So here is what to do. Make sure you have all your evidence. So before you want to report anybody, all right? you want to make sure that you have evidence, because if there's no evidence, I don't think things will work out. Mom, where's your evidence? Show me your evidence. So you take your identity documents, FTC report, and any supporting material to your local police station. Now visit your local police or to set up an appointment with the local police in the area where the crime was committed. For example, if you live in New York, but the imposter stole the deed for a vacation home in North Carolina, report the fraud in North Carolina for police, not New York. So follow up in 30 days, check in few weeks later to ensure that the issuer has been fully recertified and that you are listed as the above title owner. Oh, yes. Consider signing up for identity theft protection. Now, some identity theft monitoring services over 24/7 financial fraud protection with advanced feature like credit monitoring, home title monitoring, and one tap credit lock. Choosing a reliable service can protect your real estate asset and give you a greater peace of mind, right? Research options for identity theft protection to consider the leading services in 2022. We have information that you can read about it. Think about advanced future. You should get comprehensive coverage. To tell the truth, not only for home titles, like as for me, having a car, despite the fact that it's old, but I always get about comprehensive insurance for me. But a lot of people will not want to get that. But which it include what credit monitoring, dark web monitoring, and fast alert. So make stronger customer support, right? To deal with the breaker. Now, home title theft is what is this very stressful for victims. Now, look for a provider with what a dedicated fraud resolution services, as this expert can help you to resolve your problem. Like I said, this is for those who have a home and those who are planning to have a home. A home title monitoring service worthy, considering the current safeguard that the real estate industry provide, it is not worth investing in a service that only focus on the home title protection, right? There are other things that you need to know. So in conclusion, don't let scammers steal your home. Home title theft is a growing type of cybercrime that can be too hard to spot. But if you can stop criminals from obtaining your sensitive information, there is much lower chances of that you will fall a victim. So home title theft is an uncommon but potentially damaging crime. At best, you will be stuck spending days or months providing innocent and untangling the mess that the theft has created. This is where I got my information from. I want to thank each and everyone for listening to me. I appreciate you all. But the most important person I want to thank is our Heavenly Father for bringing all of us together. And I want to thank our Heavenly Father for bringing Mr. Ash Mufere to you and I. As we all know, he loves you and I, and he is dedicated. What he wants is that, as we all know that he's facing some challenges, but the Lord is with him. The Lord will guide him. The Lord will protect him, and he will overcome everything. He will come back maybe this Wednesday or next week to say something that will make us happy. Thank you all for listening.
Dr. Benny nailed it as always. Oh my goodness.
Mercy, mercy, mercy.
Wow. Dr. Derek, please. I hear your voice. Proceed, Dr. Derek. I know you've been just patiently waiting to appreciate the knowledge that has been poured out there for all of us.
No,
And rightfully so. So over to you, Dr. Derek.
no, man, it was just the resound, the resound, the resound. We're trying to advocate for resound.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thanks, Dr. B. Oh my goodness. I would not even attempt to summarize, but I can tell that your research is based on the people around you, their experiences, and you feel that it's necessary for us to get that information because we take it for granted that these things are out there and the thieves out there taking advantage of our personal information, which is supposed to be retained by the individuals or institutions that we share it with them. And when you entrust someone with your information, little do you know that they sell it out. And we've all been through it. I mean, I know one of them includes getting mail and one of them which I got was for insurance for my vehicle and our homes. And I called the person. I said, "Well, you write to me very personally, and I think the message is very, very convincing. But I would like to know who you are. Tell me a little bit about yourself." And when the person finished speaking, I said, "Now the next question I have is, how did Dr. T? Thank you so much for your outstanding, awesome mindset today, and I appreciate the dedication. Have your safe travels back home, and thank you, Queen Pastor Tony, for giving her the opportunity to use your premises to do the presentation today. We'll see you all again on Thursday. Safe travels once more." So, as I was saying, this person, I decided to ask, "How did you get my phone number? Because I don't know you." And he said, "Well, I paid a lot of money to XYZ for them to give me a list of homeowners, and I gave a radius who are certain, and he gave me the criteria that he filtered through whatever application, and your name happens to be one of them. And he actually said, I have to confide in you. I was told to call you personally because you would not respond to messages in the mail. But you decided for one reason or another to, so I'm going to give you an additional discount for that reason. And I said, wow, you bought my personal information. So the black book, whatever you call it,
Dark web. I never knew about dark web.
Dr. Benny, that is out there. It's not good for novices like us who don't have that background. And it's just by luck that we're fortunate to go through it. So, I mean, this to me means a lot. If I did not do that personal investigation, I would not have known that they are into. I knew that people buy lists because we were involved somewhere and somebody told me, "Oh, I'm a real estate agent. I can give you a list of 5,000 emails now to send them your link for XYZZZZZ." And I said, "No, I'm not going to send my personal information to even 50 people that I do not know." So my answer is no, I'm not doing it. So I'd rather remain where I am and not go any further. I know there's so many of us who are Junior 3 here who have similar or whatever experiences, and this is the right time. And I see that Queen Violet already has her own comment to make. So Queen Violet, welcome. It's an honor having you today. So please proceed if you can unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, please.
Okay. Something I came across this week that really blew me away. I'm sorry, it has nothing to do with home ownership. It has to do with your bank account.
Sure.
if you ever go to a bank machine, take money out, and there's someone standing around, don't do it. The same if they're like, sometimes there's more than one person. When you get your money out, they beat you up and take your money. But this person went to a bank machine and she couldn't put her card into the slot that you put your card into to get your money. And there was a guy standing around. She says, "Oh, that's strange. I've never had this happen." And he said, "Well, why don't you tap it and get your money out that way?" So she did. And she got her money out and then she left. Later, she found out that thousands of dollars were gone. And how it happened was when she finished her transaction, she didn't close it. So remember to close whatever you're doing anywhere. And because she walked away, this guy that was standing around had all her information right there and helped himself to lots of money. And what he had done was they used super glue to put it across that slot where you put your card in so that you can't put your card in there. And then they kind of advise you to do the, tap thing. And if you forget to close it out, they're happy to help you with your money. But yeah, I could see how that could happen. And they were saying that if there's anyone around the ATM that you're trying to use, just don't bother. Keep on going. And especially if there's only one. Sometimes you go into a bank and like there's a whole line of them. But this was a place where, I don't know, she went in a store or something, and that's how that happened. The other thing, a parent was out walking with her kids, and one of the kids decided to go check something. So she kept on going, ended up going home and totally forgetting that so-and-so wasn't with her. Until later on, they had taught the child to go to an ATM machine, and not all of them have it, but some of them have a button where you end up talking to someone. It's like a call center. And the little girl pressed the button and she said, the call center answered and she said, "I am lost and my mom taught me to wait at an ATM machine for someone to come and help me." And so the call center sent the police, and she knew her address. She just didn't know how to get there from where she was. And so when the police showed up, she gave them the address and they brought her home. So just an idea. Oh, and the other thing, this one just kills me. When you drop off a person or when you get out of a car, someone's giving you a ride, do not go around the car in the front. Go around it at the back. Because what happened, first day of school, a mother was taking her child to kindergarten. Like we're talking first day of anything. Like this is the very first day this kid was going to be in school. So the child got out of the car, went around the front, and she accidentally dropped her backpack. And when she bent over to pick up her backpack, her mother drove right over her. And she's in intensive care now because of that kind of an accident. So just, I don't know. If it would freak me out to actually see that. I mean, Jason tried all kinds of stuff. Like I remember one time I went to an ATM. No, I didn't go to an ATM. I got out of the car and I had to ask somebody something. Well, he pulled my car out of gear and it started rolling. And this truck is beeping its horn like crazy. And I'm going like, what's going on? And he points to my car and I see it moving like towards a building. It goes on a downhill thing. And so I go running in and I, put it back in gear. It was a manual transmission, so it wouldn't take a lot to put it, get it rolling. And like this kid, I tell you, he was a challenge. He figured stuff out like you wouldn't believe. But anyway, that's the end of my W group. Have a great evening. Thank you for letting me talk.
Thank you, Queen Violet. I appreciate you, Dr. Benny. You have something for Queen Violet?
Oh, yeah. I just want to appreciate her, especially when it comes to that. If you want to take money, as she stated, that if you see people closer to you, you want to remove money to the ATM, I believe don't do it. But I don't even go to ATM. I make sure I go to the bank and remove my own money. I go inside the bank and I remove mine. But this is to really warn people, our brand ambassadors or friends, be very careful, or should I say, you should be vigilant, especially at night. If you want to remove money, I think you should just go straight to the bank. If you want to remove money, don't go by yourself, because thieves or hackers or imposters are out there watching you. They already know about that machine, that they can steal your information. You guys already know it, but why do you still go there? Laziness does not pay. I know even if you're working Monday through Friday, you can go to the bank on Saturday. You can take maybe an hour during the week if you really need that money so bad. Do not go to the most machine. Do not. I will not. So, but if you want to go there, if you don't want to listen to me or to Queen Violet, it all left to you. Thank you, Queen Debbie.
Thank you very much, Dr. Benny. You always have provoking topics that you share with us, because everyone has either some sort of knowledge or an idea of how these things happen. So the additional education is very helpful. Queen Violet, thank you. Those stories are very unique, especially the final one with the baby. Oh Lord. Let's just have him in our prayers, because there's no single parent who will do that. I mean, there are no guarantees. I've heard stories of one backing out of the garage when the child is there walking on the driveway. So you're backing, it's the same problem. You're going forward, it's the same problem. You're not moving, there's always a problem. So
Yeah.
we should just pray for those similar cases that they should not happen at all. Just let's have everyone in our prayers. Let's pray for one another. Dr.
Yes.
Benny prays for us, but we should also pray for one another. Well,
Yes.
thank you, Dr. Benny. Anyone else has any comment or observation for Dr. Benny? I see a lot of people in the house. Regular Brother Carlton, Queen Roslyn, good to see you. Queen Lily Lynn, Bishop, Queen Stephanie, Brother Mamadou, Queen Nancy, and Queen Julie Pierre, Queen BMA, and Queen Nadu, Queen Janet, Queen Marie Therese, Queen Dr. Patience, and oh wow, Queen Sybil, and I have not seen King Linval Worms in a while. Brother Kumaran, welcome. I know you're behind the wheel, so you cannot talk, but you're here listening. I appreciate having you. And Brother Vital, thank you.
Queen Debbie. All right.
Hello.
Welcome, Queen Nadu. I was just going to say, Dr. Benny, if you can give us your final word, and we'll pass it over to Dr. Derek. But I heard Dr. Derek's voice, so over to you, Dr. Derek, please.
All right.
Before I give my
Wonderful.
final remarks, okay.
Wonderful. Hold on, Dr. Benny.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate. Security. Security, security, security. Enough. Security enough. When you are walking down the road, you look to your left and you look to your right. If you see any person look like they look suspicious. But when you actually surfing the internet, where do you look? Where do you look? Because you cannot look left and right as your computer right in front of you and you and so therefore you have to secure. You have to secure yourself. Secure yourself with good passwords. Stop being curious and looking at things that doesn't concern you. Even though it comes in your email, you don't know this name from Adams, leave it alone. Delete it. Put it as spam. So anything coming from this email is a spam. So you leave it alone. If it comes with a name that you know, call a person and find out if this is the person's email. Because you don't know if the person really just sending you an email because you never really talk about anything concerning an email. So find out, call a person and find out what is what. And if that person did send you an email, then you find out what is the subject. And yes, you quantify and qualify and make sure that it's a go before you attempt to open it. Thank you very much, First Lady Queen Dr. Benny. Security, security, security. You have to secure everything now because when people are online, there's no way to look right or look left to see if anyone looks suspicious because everybody is at their desk or in a little basement somewhere about the place. So you can't look left and right. You have to just stop opening suspicious things, stop being curious, stop trying to find out what is this. No, you don't know anything about it. Delete it. Delete it. Delete it. Or put it as spam. So protect ourselves. Thank you very much, First Lady Queen Dr. Benny. Security is very important, especially with all of us lives now is being resuscitated on the internet big time. So thank you very much, First Lady Queen Dr. Benny. Really appreciate the cybersecurity aspect of your input on these presentations from last year until now. You may be gone at least 100 plus presentations just on cyber security. Thank you very much, Queen Dr. Benny. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, King Dr. Derek. I appreciate your acknowledgement and your support.
Thank you, Mommy. That is how much we appreciate you. I just have to say it that way. And you know that means a lot. We appreciate you every Tuesday, 100 plus. That's dedication at its best. Can you imagine if you were billing Dr. Derek for that?
Mercy.
My mouth. All right, Dr. Benny, your final words before you start sending the bill. Your final words for today's presentation, Mama.
Yes, please. As I was talking about the topic being can hackers actually steal your home title? This type of cybercrime, it involves hackers gaining unauthorized access to your property owner information, using it to transfer the title of the property into their names. So that is what they are doing. So how do we prevent this from happening? Right, we can prevent it by monitoring your property title. You have a regular view of your property title report for any suspicious activities or unauthorized changes. Then another one is like securing your personal information. Personal information. As you guys notice that they are selling our information to the dark web. Can you believe it? Yes. So you're safeguard your sensitive personal information, such as what? Social security number, account numbers, and by identifying the detail to prevent the hackers from accessing your information, right? So remember I talked about password. Using a strong password and security measures is very important. So in order, we need to implement this strong password online account, because a lot of us now, even younger kids, they are utilizing online accounts. So what they need to do, you have to enable two-factor authentication to protect against what? Unauthorized access. Now, bring cultures with sharing your information. You have to avoid sharing your personal information to people out there, especially related when it comes to your property, right? Being a property ownership on insecure website or unknown individual, right? So just to let each and everyone know that by staying vigilant and taking proactive steps to protect your property title and personal information, you can reduce the risk of falling a victim to home title theft and safeguard your home ownership right. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you once more, Queen Dr. Benny. We appreciate you from head to toe, like Dr. Seuss will say in his children's books. If we do not tell you on a regular basis, know that we do. Thank you. At this moment, I want to, Dr. Derek, if you have any comments to add. If not, I will say thank you to our viewers, our YouTube viewers. We appreciate you joining us every Tuesday and every Thursday. Yes, Dr. Benny?
I want to read what Brother Mumudu said, wrote down, if it is okay.
Of course, please.
He said, I am sorry. He said, I'm sorry, I'm busy working, but I just want to thank Queen Dr. T. Ford and Dr. Benny for their outstanding presentation. Very educative, informative, inspirational. Thank you very much for everything you have done and still doing for us. God bless you all. And Dr. T said, excellent presentation. And as you all know, I would say astonishing mindset to Dr. T. Thank you so much, Queen Debbie, for the opportunity.
Thank you too for seeing the message from Brother Mamadou as well as Dr. T. We appreciate both messages. And we thank our viewers on YouTube Live and in the future. We appreciate your deep dive. And to add that deep dive is every Tuesday and Thursday on this forum, same time. And our sister forum is, we have several of them. On Wednesdays is Empowering Humanity with Julie Pierre. On Thursday mornings, it's All Passion Malaysia Singapore International. And Sunday is Dream Team. And we call on you to join us on one of those forums with any question you have regarding ONPASSIVE. But for now, we'll say goodbye and see you again very soon. Blessings. At this moment, we're going to start the next segment of the webinar.